Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about sleep and we're going to talk about what constitutes as good sleep habits. We get a lot of people that come in that have problems with sleep. The two main things that we see with people who have issues with sleep is sleep onset, in other words, the ability to go to sleep, and then people being able to maintain sleep. And then unfortunately, there are individuals who have problems with both. They can't get to sleep, and then when they do, they can't stay asleep. They are two distinct issues, though they do have some things in common. And what we're going to talk about today is some of the strategies outside of just herbs and supplements that we can put into place to kind of try to make our sleep health a little bit better. So one of the first things that I try to talk to people about in terms of sleep health is the idea that your body wants a natural circadian rhythm. It wants to kind of wake up and go to bed at roughly the same time every night. And I know that that's not always possible for everyone. In general, though, if you can try to do that, a lot of people find that very helpful. A couple of other little things that you might want to consider as well. Blue light. Blue light is the light that's emitted by television screens and by different types of lighting and by phone screens. Although these days we have the ability to change that. In general, blue light resembles daylight, and when you are exposed to blue light or daylight, it actually signals your brain to not produce melatonin and to start producing serotonin in order to wake yourself up for the day, because we're supposed to be following that sunrise, sunset pattern. If you have the ability to limit your exposure to blue light after dark, that's a great idea. Most phones and most television sets and laptops and things have what they call twilight settings, where it actually changes the light in your device to be more in the rose or pink spectrum, and it's not nearly as stimulating to the eyes or the brain. Speaking of stimulating, another sort of pillar to good sleep is that you don't want to be engaging in things that are extremely stimulating right before bed. You want the last hour, hour and a half before you go to bed to be pretty relaxing. I'm not saying don't read something or listen to something or watch something, but try to make it something that's just not like edge of your seat, really exciting, that you gotta finish. Oh, I can't put this down. And you also don't want to do anything that's school or work related right before bed if you can help it. And then this one kind of segues into the next thing, which is you don't want to do work or school related things in your bedroom. Your bedroom is for sleeping. I know that with college students, it's a little bit more challenging because if you're in a dorm, it's kind of all in the same place. In general, though, as much as you can avoid those things, it's a good idea. Those are all just general habits that can make an impact on your ability to both get to sleep and stay asleep. A few others that we could throw in there that are probably pretty obvious. Try not to eat really close to bed because eating a large meal close to bed can, as your body's going through that digestive process, that can kind of be stimulating as well. Not to mention reflux and GERD and things like that if you lay down right after a big meal. And then a lot of people might want to wind down their day with a glass of wine or something like that. And that's okay, and as far as it goes, but you don't want to do that to excess because alcohol can actually cause your sleep quality to be very poor. It can impact your heart rate variability. It can actually wake you up in the middle of the night. And then one of the last ones that's perhaps very obvious is watch your stress levels. If you're super stressed out, it certainly is going to have an impact on your ability to go to sleep and particularly on your ability to maintain sleep, because when we are stressed out, the hormone cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone, tends to be pretty high. And then somewhere between 2 and 4 a.m., your liver will actually begin its detoxification process, and your cortisol levels, if they're already high, will get even higher. And for a lot of people, this will actually wake them up. They may wake up warm, and they may wake up with a lot of racing thoughts and just an inability to kind of go back to sleep. The last thing I would probably mention in terms of good habits for sleep health, we've discussed products in other videos that people commonly use for sleep health. And I would say that in regard to product, or just in general, the next thing I'm going to say is super important. When you're sleepy, go to sleep. Whether it happens naturally or whether you've taken a supplement or a tea or even a medication, when you feel that sleepy feeling, that's when you need to go to bed. And unfortunately, a lot of people who struggle with sleep onset issues will be like, oh, let me brush my teeth, let me let out the dog, let me do. When you're having sleep issues, and it's called a sleep window, where you feel sleepy, you need to, as best as you're able, be able to turn out the lights, turn off the TV, or put your music or your audiobook or whatever on a timer and go to sleep. Because if you push your way through that sleep window, you will make the next one further off. You'll make it shorter. You'll make it easier to kind of work your way through. And we don't want to do that, because that encourages really bad sleep behavior. So I hope that this has been helpful. And obviously, sleep is huge. It's when your body repairs itself. It's when deep memories are formed and long-term memories. And it just has so much more importance than anybody, I think, really realize, especially the younger that they are. And I would encourage everyone, do your best to get a great night's sleep, because not only will you feel better the next day, it can have such great impacts on your long-term health and memory and longevity. So here's to everybody sleeping well tonight. You guys take care. Bye for now.